My name is Rehana Sehgal and primarily a jewelry designer. I've recently branched out into fashion. When people talk about a creative lifestyle or creating a lifestyle which is creative or which is, by that, do people mean eccentric? I don't know. There are lots of people who are wonderful at what they do, and they're also very eccentric, and in a sense their lives are as big a drama as the work that they create. And most famous case in point is M.F. Hussain, I think. But largely, do I believe in a creative lifestyle? No, I don't. I believe that your lifestyle is what you make of it. Your work is what you make of it. Most of good work is based on hard work. So if you're working hard at sounding creative and sounding pseudo or intellectual or artistic, I don't really have much patience with it. My husband wakes up in the morning, and whether he feels like painting or not, it's not like a bijli that strikes suddenly, inspiration, wow, put pen to paper or pencil to paper. It doesn't happen like that. He's methodical. He gets up in the morning. He goes to a studio like people go to office. He doesn't come out till sunset. There's no phone in there. I can't reach him. I prefer not to disturb him. Nobody goes to his studio. He rings when he wants something to eat or drink or sustenance or some help with something in the studio. So I think this whole business of creating a creative lifestyle, so to speak, I have to put it in inverted commas, and I have to declare it to be a myth, I'm afraid.
I don't think it's artistic living. It's a simple case of insomnia. I've always been an insomniac. I sleep very little. I get up in the morning and I'm just raring to go to do what I have to, because I have reached the ultimate lifestyle that I really would like to lead, which is that I should have all the luxury and the time to paint. And I treat every day as though it's the most important day, because I had a life-threatening illness 2 years ago. So after that, I look upon each new day as though I have to grasp every moment of it. For example, मेरी जो अपनी personal space है, ये इतनी personal है that I do all my finished work strictly in the studio. I don't paint anywhere else. But I am inspired by various things while I'm traveling. Architecture inspires me a lot. So I do very detailed sketches, and I have to admit, a lot of photography. I need to do that as reference points. After I've done that, then I read a lot. If I'm doing an architectural work, for example, I did Khajuraho, all the statues. The Khajuraho temples are one of the most prominent Hindu sculptures in the world. And they've just been painted umpteen times, over and over again. And I wanted to do something different. So what I did was, I did very, very actual renderings of the statues, but then I put human heads. I asked people who I was admired, who people I liked, and I did their portraits combined with statues. और इसमें मुझे बड़े लोग कहते थे कि this is Hindu art, आप ये क्यों कर रहे हैं आप, this is even in India. I had this exhibition in India primarily. And they said, oh, Mr. Sehgal, but you're a Muslim, and how come you're painting in temples? And I had such problems trying to explain to them that this is not just your heritage, this is our heritage also. 60 years ago, it was the same land. And why go back 60 years? If you go back 300 years ago, most of us are converts from Hinduism. And these statues go back 4,000 years.
I think that if you have the luxury to decide the kind of lifestyle you want to lead and not be a slave to your social obligations, your professional obligations all the time, I think that really is the ideal lifestyle. To live life on your own terms. I think my husband has been lucky because he's been able to achieve that. Certainly, as a jewelry designer, I know the people that I admire, whose work has possibly influenced me, but has certainly been responsible for my being interested in creating jewelry. Because the kind of jewelry that I wanted to wear, or that my husband wanted me to wear, simply wasn't available in Pakistan when we were growing up. And so that started me off on creating jewelry, and not just alone, with him. So Chand has a huge hand in the kind of jewelry that we initially started creating.
I feel really blessed because coming from a business family, painting which is all that I do now, was not really looked as something very conducive for a young business family guy to be doing. But I opted out to be out of the family business, and my wife Rehana was so supportive. So we left the family and we've been working on our own since then, and she's made it possible for me to have the lifestyle that I want, which is, I really feel blessed about that.
I think for both of us, our work is our passion. Yeah, it sustains
very
us.
Definitely it is work. I am passionate about my work. I can't, if I don't spend a lot of time in the studio, if I miss a day at the studio, I'm not happy.
You see, we are who we are because of what we do. It's not that we are who we are because of being somebody related to somebody or enjoying a particular high-powered job or a position or we are what we do.
I don't think I could exist if there wasn't Rehana behind me. I mean, she's been such a pillar of support. And I mean, it's so difficult to say that we are two people apart because we both reflect each other's interests so much. And as far as support is concerned, my wife is we've been married 40 years. And in these 40 years, she's just been like a pillar of strength holding me up together because I'm a very volatile person. I get worked up, and she's always there to calm me, to soothe me, and to direct me in the correct direction.
We've been married 40 years, but we've been engaged for 3.5 years before that. So we've been together a long time. You know, the reason we married each other was because we were each other's best friend. It just seemed like the best idea to marry your best friend. And so we've been lucky. We've had ups and downs, we have quarrels. There's no such thing as a marriage with no problems. Of course there are problems. You have differences, you have to compromise, you have to make space for the other person within the home. But we made a startling discovery. We found that at the time that we were suffering from empty nest syndrome and all 3 of our children had gone abroad to study, we found that we had no quarrels at all. We had a wonderful time rediscovering each other and rediscovering each other's company to the exclusion of everybody else. You know, people forget in a marriage that when the children come along, a little space has to be kept for just the 2 of you, because the children claim too much of your life, too much of your home, too much of your house and hearth and concerns. वो कहते हैं ना, हजारों ख्वाहिशें ऐसी कि हर ख्वाहिश पे दम निकले, बहुत निकले मेरे अरमान लेकिन फिर भी कम निकले.
One is never done. There's so much more you always want to achieve, and inshallah one is heading towards that all the time. Whether one is making progress or not, I don't know.
But you have to keep moving towards, you have to determine your direction in life and keep moving. I think to be stagnant is death.